Welcome back. All right, your resident super fan here to review the first game in the series of the Battle of Florida, Tampa Bay Lightning and the Florida Panthers. This series is going to be absolutely fantastic. I thought both teams played each other really, really well. This is part of the reason why I'm fine with the divisional matchups. I know people don't like the repetitiveness of it, but when teams really know one another really well and they met before in the playoffs, I just think it makes for a better series. So it's Vasilevsky versus Bobrovsky, and that's going to be the storyline throughout this series, is which goaltender really upstages the other. And today, they both, I thought, did really well. So early press by the Panthers, then the Bolts get some pressure back. Good flow, some early hits as well. The hitting really was a lot of today's game. Like there were so many hits. Anyways, so Panthers press at 2.5 minutes. Reinhart fires one high. The shots are 3-1 for Florida at 4 minutes. Panthers press at 4.5 minutes. Bolts get pinned down a bit. The Panthers are pressuring Tampa Bay every time they have the puck. They weren't able to maintain that throughout the game, but they played really well early, and eventually they score first. Reinhart from Forsling and Barkov at 6:17. It's a point shot. Reinhart deflects in, so no chance for Vasilevsky there. The teams exchange rushes afterwards. Panthers press for another. Luostarinen to Lindell. That's blocked. The Panthers, though, they do draw a power play. So their power play came in cold. Came into the playoffs cold. But today it wasn't too bad. So they cycle. The Bolts clear on the second attempt, and then they clear it out again. They end up killing that power play off. 2 shots for Florida during that power play. And then on the graphic, you could see the Bolts had 1 shot that was taken away. So the shots were 6-0 with 9.5 minutes left. So Tampa Bay, not a great start. I think if they come out with a better start in game 2, we could see a completely different story. So Radish fires one wide. They couldn't get a sustained press. Really, the Bolts throughout a lot of that first period. Verhaeghe's denied. Vasilevsky holds. Stamkos to Chernak gets picked off. Forsling has a shot that's blocked. Rodriguez has a shot that's kicked aside. Things are pushy on a hold by Bobrovsky, and then after a face-off win. So Tampa Bay starts generating chances late in the period, and at 16:04 after a face-off win, Hagel buries a rebound at the net. Cirelli and Stamkos with the assists. So it's 1-1 at that stage of the first period. Lindell then has a screenshot that misses wide. Perbix has a one-timer that's held. And you could see that Tampa Bay had more energy and a little more confidence. And Florida's puck pressure wasn't as prominent in that second half of the period as it had been earlier. So whether it's Tampa Bay playing better or Florida playing back a little bit more, I would imagine both of those things true on some level. There's pushing on most whistles, and I had to put that in there because, yeah, these teams don't like each other. Asimon hits a crossbar on a potential buzzer beater. So late in the period, it was clear Tampa Bay kind of turned the momentum. It's 1-1 after the first period. Second period, early press by Tampa Bay. Hedman has a screenshot that saved. The Panthers press at 2.5 minutes, but the Bolts are back checking well, and in that second period, both teams doing a really good job of limiting chances against. So the Bolts are keeping the Panthers from the net. The teams exchange rushes. Bennett has a tip shot that deflects out. The shots on net are 3-2 for Tampa Bay at 5.5 minutes. Panthers press at 6.5 minutes. Again, kept to the outside. We get a power play for Florida. There's a near miss for Tkachuk. The Bolts then clear it. Panthers cycle. Montour fires one wide. Then there's a blocker save on the next chance for Montour. It's cleared. That power play's killed off. Near misses by Duclair and Kucherov then as the Bolts press. So a lot of near misses in that second period. Not a lot of shots hitting the net. I credit the defense on both sides for that. So the next Kucherov chance gets saved. Then the Panthers fail to clear. Ekblad has a shot that's blocked. And then Lundell takes an offensive zone penalty. So all kinds of pressure. And then Florida ends up taking a penalty in the offensive zone. So there's an early cycle. Hedman has a shot that's blocked or decide. There's a shorthanded rush by Barkov. And then Florida clears again. Then there's a shorthanded rush by Luostarinen. Really, Panthers not allowing much of a setup for the Tampa Bay Lightning on that one. And then after killing it off, the shots are 5-5 with 3.5 minutes left. This was a very tight checking second period. And the game was on pace for well over 100 hits. We do end up with more than 100 hits, but yeah, at that point in the game, there was, I think, 73 with a few minutes left in the second period. Panthers did a good job, so did Tampa Bay. Perbix has a net feed picked off, and then with 23.7 seconds left, an offensive zone penalty by Nick Paul. So in the playoffs, I've been pointing out when there are offensive zone penalties only because those are the ones that can very often end up hurting you. Those are the ones that you really, really don't want to see if you're the coach, because it's not like they're taking away a scoring opportunity. But after the second period, the score stays 1-1. Third period, Tkachuk has a shot to save. The rebound's cleared. The Panthers then cycle, and they score on the power play. 58 seconds in, on a cross-ice pass, Verhaeghe buries one to make it 2-1. Barkov and Tkachuk with the assists. The Bolts press to respond. The Panthers blocking. Things are pushy then on a hold by Bobrovsky. Panthers press at 3 minutes. Cirelli to Stamkos near miss. So there are some near misses in that third period. Fans call one. The referee doesn't. So the referee sucks. By my count, there was only one ref you suck chant today during this game. Near miss for Bennett as the Panthers press. Barkov has a rush chance that's held. We get some pushing. The shots are 10-2 for Florida 7 minutes in. So Vasilevsky earning his pay in that third period. Mikkola has a slapper. That's caught and held. And then Florida, all the players had their sticks up because they felt there were too many Tampa Bay Lightning players on the ice. The fans seemed to notice that as well, but it was not called. The Panthers press at 9.5 minutes. They're kept to the outside. Tampa Bay presses. They're also kept to the outside. So both teams doing a good job of protecting the net. Point has a shot this blocker's side. The Bolts press with 5.5 minutes left. They start generating some momentum. Montour has a shot that's blocked as the Panthers get a brief press there at the other end. Point can't bury one, and then a pass to Kucherov gets blocked. And you could see that the Bolts were really close to tying. Just Florida's getting in the lanes. Pucks that are near misses wide, that kind of thing. Goalie pull happens with 3:08 left after the Panthers ice the puck. And you could see the Panthers were tired. I totally agree with what was done here. Stamkos then has a one-timer that's saved, and then at 17:55, Tkachuk hits the empty net from Ekblad. That makes it 3-1. And then the Panthers, I thought, did a good job of preventing the goalie pull. Vasilevsky wanted to come out pretty quickly after that goal, and the Panthers were making sure there wasn't a setup in their zone, that they were puck pressuring, so you can't really take the guy out. However, Tampa Bay draws a power play with 1 minute and 11 seconds left, meaning the goalie pull would happen before that face-off. Again, 1:11 left. Points absolutely robbed. Bobrovsky holds there. The Bobby chants come up, and chants for Bobrovsky were pretty common in this game. Florida fans are clearly excited about their starting goalie. I don't blame them. So the Bolts were thwarted until at 19:50, just too many opportunities. And when you've got Stamkos, you've got Kucherov, Point, everybody else. Stamkos scores from Kucherov at 19 minutes and 50 seconds. So it's a 6-on-4 goal. The problem being you've only got 10 seconds left. So he wires that one top shelf from the left circle, and then Tampa Bay calls a timeout. Whatever they discussed doesn't work. Florida did what I would have advised them to do. Either you win the face-off or you make sure it's kind of one of them scrummy face-offs where there's no clear winner. They did a good job with that just because there's only 10 seconds. Tampa Bay needs to win that face-off, get in the zone, and set up. They didn't give them that opportunity. Florida wins this one 3-2. They lead the series 1-0. Shots on net, 9-6 Florida in the first, 6-4 Florida in the second. A very low opportunity second period in the third. The shots 13-9 Florida. Final shots 28-19 for the Panthers. Power plays Tampa Bay 1-for-2, Florida 1-for-3. The hits 55-54 for Tampa Bay. And what's interesting is the hits are always really high at the start of the playoffs. They tend to kind of drop off a bit because attrition. Eventually your body's all banged up. Vasilevsky 25 saves on 27 shots. Bobrovsky 17 saves on 19 shots. Both goalies were excellent today. And this was a really fun game. So we're going to have the Capitals and the Rangers starting pretty quickly here, about 4 minutes time by my clock. And so we'll get this uploaded for all you fine people on the internet. Let me know your thoughts about this game in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.